Alright, so let's talk about rational numbers. And rational numbers are any number that can be written as a fraction. So if we wanted to compare rational numbers, so let's say we had 2/3 compared to negative 1/8. Really doesn't matter what your fractions are. When you're dealing with a positive and a negative, your positive is always going to be greater than your negative. So let's look at another one of those. Let's say we had negative 9/10 compared to 1/10. So I have a negative. Negatives are always going to be less than a positive. So 1/10 is greater than negative 9/10, or negative 9/10 is less than 1/10. Where it is different is if you have two negatives. So let's say I have negative 1/3 and negative 2/5. So you notice I put the negative on the numerators. It really doesn't matter if the numerators are negative or the denominators are negative, as long as you're keeping it consistent. So either both numerators or both denominators are negative. So I chose the numerators, so now I'm going to cross multiply. So 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Negative 6 is less than negative 5. Think about that. Would you rather owe somebody $6 or $5? I'd rather owe them 5 because that's less to owe than negative 6. So negative 6 is actually less than negative 5. Alright, so now I'm going to order numbers from least to greatest. These are rational numbers. So if you look, I have two negatives right there in the middle, and then two positives on either end. So I'm going to order the negatives, because those are going to be the least, first, and then I'm going to order the positives. So I can easily make negative 1/4, which is a benchmark of 1/4, into a decimal. So negative 1/4 would be negative 25 hundredths. So negative 28 hundredths is going to be less than negative 1/4, because that's negative 25 hundredths. So from least to greatest, I'd have negative 28 hundredths, then negative 1/4. Now I look at my other two. I have 48 hundredths and 2/3. Well, 2/3 is a benchmark fraction of related to 1/3, and 1/3 is 3/10 repeating, so that would equal 6/10 repeating. Well, 6/10 is bigger than 4/10, so that means it's greater. So my next number would be the 48 hundredths, and then the 2/3. So you can make them fractions, you can make them decimals, whatever you want to do to compare them, but just when you're doing this, compare your negatives, because those are always going to be your least, and then compare your positives, and that'll help you get them in order from least to greatest.